Honestly, if I could only keep just one tote bag or just bag in general in my collection, it would probably be this one. It's just that good. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing another super in-depth and super honest review on the super duper iconic and enduringly popular LONGCHAMP Le Pliage original tote bag in the medium size. I'll be starting off with an unboxing, then going over the price and where to buy it, discussing the measurements and features, showing you what fits inside, doing some close-ups and mod shots, going over the pros and cons, and finally my overall final score of this bag and whether I'll recommend it to you or not. So if you're interested in that, then please keep on watching. Alrighty guys, so let's go ahead and start off with an unboxing first. So now I'm just going to move on to the price and where to buy this bag. You can buy this bag from many different retailers that sell luxury handbags such as Holt Renfrew, Nordstrom, etc. But I happen to personally buy mine directly from the LONGCHAMP website. You can buy it physically in any of the stores that I just mentioned or online as well. It took only about 2 business days to ship to me, which is amazing. And it typically retails for about $200 Canadian, which is about $145 USD. And honestly, it rarely ever goes on sale. The only time I've ever seen it go on sale is in the less neutral or seasonal colorways, such as marshmallow pink or like a bright green or something. And I've noticed that when it does go on sale in this size, it usually retails for about $160 Canadian. In the outlet LONGCHAMP stores, they usually have, once again, the seasonal colors on sale for about this price. So now we're just going to move on to the details and measurements of this bag. So this bag comes in many different colors as well as different sizes. The main sizes are the large, medium, and small. And today we are specifically talking about the medium size. So it features a snap button closure on the front flap here, 2 interior flat pockets, and the dimensions are 28 centimeters long, measured at the base of the bag, and about 26.5 centimeters high, or in other words, 15.5 inches by 15.5 centimeters. The bag is made from a polyamide fabric with a minimum of 70% recycled fibers with interior coating. The leather bits, the trimming is made of Russian cowhide leather, and the weight when it's empty is about 220 grams, super duper lightweight. As for the exterior details, the handle height is about 21 centimeters, or in other words, 8.3 inches, and the coating of this bag is nylon. I'm going to read you guys the full description of this bag as per the LONGCHAMP website. This tote bag captivates you with its minimalist silhouette and compact volume, and can even be folded into the size of a paperback book. Its long handles allow you to wear it comfortably on your shoulder, while its zipper closure ensures the safety of all your belongings. Iconic and world famous, the Le Pliage draws its genius from origami. Foldable, easy, and lightweight, its ingenuity appeals to all generations. Its flap and handles in Russian leather, its ears and its snap closure make it recognizable at a glance. So now finally I'm going to get into what fits inside of this bag. So here is the bag fully empty. As you can see, there's just these discrete flat pockets and then just a empty unlined gaping hole. So because of that reason, I like to use a bag liner. This is just a super inexpensive one from Shein, and it just helps me with organization, or else all my belongings are just kind of chaotically all over the place. So I'm just going to be showing you what fits inside of this thing and what I like to put in here. So in these pockets here, I just have some napkins. And then here I have some gum. And here I just have 3 reusable shopping bags, some wet wipe tissues, a little pouch that holds my headphones, some more tissues. As you can see, I always have wet wipes and tissues on me because accidents happen. I have this little water bottle, sunglasses, a handheld portable fan, a mini umbrella, a mini spoon and fork utensil travel set, a pen, hand sanitizer spray, a compact and mirror, and finally my wallet. I also have this makeup bag filled with band-aids and hair ties, and also this pouch that has feminine products. So now I'm just going to put everything back into this organizer really quick. And now I'm just going to put all of this inside the Longchamp. And I just like to stick that little pouch that keeps my feminine products in this slip pocket here, as it fits so comfortably. And then my house keys I like to put in the front pocket. And there you go, guys. So it fits a small water bottle, a pencil case, and also an umbrella. Now here I have a super large 14-inch laptop. Let's see if this fits. Oh my goodness, you guys, it fits. Well, kind of. Yeah, okay, actually not really. Alrighty guys, here is a 13-inch laptop. This one should definitely fit. Yes, it does fit. Ish. Once again, not quite. I mean, I'm not sure if you could zip it up. Oh, okay, yes you could. So yeah, 13-inch laptop fits. So now I'm just going to get into some mod shots with this bag. Pros and cons of this bag. So the first pro I can think of is that obviously it's super duper lightweight as per the nature of it being pretty much full nylon, and it's definitely lightweight especially for its large size. Another pro is that it's pretty water resistant, so it's good for rainy or snowy weather, and because of the full top zip, it's great for that weather as well, so that your belongings inside are kept nice and dry. So as someone like me who lives in Canada where we get a lot of rain and snow throughout most of the year, it's a super duper ideal everyday bag, especially for work or school. The large capacity, especially due to, once again, the nature of this nylon material, gives it a lot of stretch and give so that it can fit a lot of stuff. Once again, because of the nylon material, it's super duper easy to clean. Another pro is that you can feel good knowing that it's made of 70% recycled material. That's better for the environment. Another pro is that the trim is made of real leather, so that means that it will probably wear well over time. The medium size is the perfect size in my opinion, as it's not too big, not too small, and I'm only 5'2" for reference. I'm very petite, and it looks not too big on me, I'd say. It looks just about right. Another pro is that it is timeless. It never really goes out of style, and it's also ageless. I've seen girls as young as, teenagers, like 15, 16, 17-year-olds wear this, and even up to women well into their 60s and above. Like my grandma would wear a bag like this, no problem. So yeah, I just love how unbelievably simple, timeless, and effortlessly chic and universally appealing it is. It's casual yet sophisticated. It doesn't try too hard, but at the same time, it doesn't look cheap either. It's perfect. Another pro, once again, due to the materials, is that it's pretty durable without having to be made of actual heavy leather. Another pro is that due to the raw interior, it's very forgiving if you accidentally spill any liquids or water inside. And finally, one of the biggest pros I can think of is because of the fact that it can be folded and stored away. It's super duper great if you are a minimalist, and when you're not using it, you can honestly just fold it into this tiny, tiny size like this. This is another gray one that I have. This one's actually a dupe. But yeah, look how unbelievably compact it can become once it's folded down. And then you can just like hang it or even lay it flat in your closet, and it doesn't take up any space at all. It's super duper clutter-free, minimalistic, and great for travel. You could even just stuff this in your luggage, and then when you arrive to the place that you need to go, you can just undo it and turn it into a tote bag. And now I'm just gonna go over the cons of this bag. So the number one con I can think of when it comes to this bag is definitely the price. So as I mentioned, I actually have a bunch of dupes in this bag. I have it in gray and I have another one in black somewhere in my closet. And I've always wanted to invest in a real one because I use the absolute heck out of both of them. Like I use them both like crazy. So I knew that if I ever got a real one, it would be a no-brainer and it would just be such an easy transition to just move on to the real one. However, I could never actually bring myself to make the splurge because the real one was always around $160 to $190 Canadian. And in my opinion, because the bag isn't even necessarily full leather, nor does it have any bells and whistles. It's really just like a basic beach bag silhouette, I suppose. I thought that that was just a crazy, crazy markup and very overpriced for what it was. Even though I love it and it's super handy, yeah, I just felt like that was a lot. It should be no more than like $45 to $60 in my opinion. Like it doesn't even have quilting or ornate embellishments or embroidery or anything complicated like that, nor does it have any super substantial hardware or chain or anything that would cause it to be that expensive. And yeah, it's just an overall super plain and simple design for what it is. But yeah, for years and years, it was about $160 to $190 Canadian, and I've slowly watched it go up and up and up over the years until now it's finally reached a solid $200 Canadian. So I figured, you know what, it's now or never. I feel like it's just gonna keep on going up, and soon it will be like $300 for this darn nylon bag. So that's why I finally decided to get it. Not that it was even on sale or anything like that, I just figured it's now or never. And once again, as someone who is not only an illustrator and artist, but also a huge fashion enthusiast, of course I understand that a lot of that price is going into the fact that it's a real Longchamp bag, and you can feel good knowing that you're actually supporting the brand itself and buying an original. It's also like a work of art in the sense that it made history when it came out. It was like one of, if not the first bag of its kind. In other words, like a nylon tote bag. The fact that it can fold, like the innovation and design and creativity is what you're paying into. But still, even with all of that in mind, materials wise, I just honestly think it probably didn't cost that much to make. And yeah. Another huge con is that unless you invest in a bag organizer like I did and I showed you in the what fits portion of this video, it's pretty much just an empty bottomless pit. And so all of your belongings just kind of like fall all over each other, and it can be very unorganized and chaotic. It's just a gaping open bag, and yeah, that's not great. Another con, sorry guys, I'm just gonna use this dupe as an example, but the real one does the same thing. is that when you fold it, it leaves a very deep wrinkle, obviously, so I don't like to fold up my real one too much. But yeah, another huge con is that I wish that the snap button closure was actually a magnetic closure, as that way it would just magnetically easily clasp shut. I hate that with the snap you have to actually push it in, so you're like pushing against your bag and it's just not that easy to close. So I don't know why they didn't make it a magnet, to be honest. Another con is, again, when it arrived it was folded up, so now there's just these super deep wrinkles that I really hope will go away over time. And finally, this last one is not too much of a con, but that it's super duper mainstream and popular, and it seems like pretty much everyone has one at this point. This can be a pro or a con depending on the kind of person you are. I personally don't really care about this kind of thing. Like, I don't care to be not like other girls. Like, I don't care to be special. If something is quality and it's good, I'll buy it. I really don't care if it's trending or not trending. I know some people simply must do the opposite thing to what everyone else is doing, or they simply must do what everyone else is doing. I don't care either way. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. But yeah, it's super duper duper popular. Yeah guys, my overall final score of this bag is a solid 9.5 out of 10, which I believe may just be the highest score I've ever given any bag ever. If you guys are not new to my channel, you'll know that I review a lot of bags. Yeah, I just find in terms of my entire collection, I always find myself coming back to this one, which is another reason why I finally decided to bite the bullet and just invest in a real one for a change. But yes, they're great for school, college, work, the gym, even the beach, like wherever. It's office appropriate, it's casual, you can dress it up, you can dress it down, it can look sporty, it can look office appropriate. It's just so versatile in the sense that it's so plain, and also it's so durable, lightweight, and waterproof because of the material. I just can't say enough good things about this bag. Like, I know I go on and on about how great it is, and then I complain about the price, so it seems a little bit hypocritical or something, but it is a lot for what it is. But at the same time, I was pretty okay to pay the $200 because I know I will use it for the rest of my life. And just based on the fact that I had the dupes for like over 10 years and I used them like crazy, I just knew it would be a no-brainer, and that once I got a real one, I would use it just the same, which I have. Alrighty guys, so that is it for this super in-depth Longchamp review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a like if it was helpful to you, and please consider subscribing to my channel, as I put so much work into my videos and I truly would appreciate it so much. So thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Love you guys.